looks like you're good to go, Scott. Thank you for your time.
So what do you want me to do? You want to just start?
You're started. You're ready whenever, man.
All right. Cheers.
Sorry, man.
It is Thursday, so we're allowed to have a beverage. So, and I'm also happy that finally the recap video is working. I'm sorry that yesterday we did not have one, and I know yesterday was definitely a tricky day where you had the rebalance trade, you had tech making lows in the morning, and then finally everything kind of reversed. So today was a little bit more of a methodical day. The theme today for my head is every day I try to have a theme is, okay, futures are up, tech is weaker, but after yesterday's reversal, we should have some kind of support coming in. I went over levels that, would make it easy to hold, to go green, and a lot of things went green. Amazon was down 20, went green. Netflix was down 4, went green. Apple was down 2, went green. A lot of things. And I know, I tried to time a synthetic short into the spies. That definitely put a few gray hairs on my head. I don't know if you guys have any gray hair, but I had to shave my beard. My beard was getting so gray because I had so many damn spy calls sold. But we stayed the course. In my head, I'm like, you know what? I do feel like if it closes really strong and they want to give me it short for next week, I'll take it because, you go to the chart here, every time, we get extended from the 8-day, we come back and touch it. Here we were extended from the 8-day, we sold a lot of premium, came back and went through it. Here I remember selling a lot of premium. People were like, oh my God, what's the matter with you? And, came back in. So up here, when we were trading at 306.50, didn't really feel good, but I wasn't that worried. I'm like, where could it really get to? You can get to 308.85, maybe 31.30, which not have felt good. I probably would have had to keep my monitors off and go for a run for 3 days and then come back with mid-limit orders into cover because I felt like we would be able to come back there. Anyway, with that being said, you did finally get a pullback in the spies. Not a huge pullback, but from 306.84 went as low as 302.24. Let me write that in, 302.24. It's funny how things just get timed. Everyone's like, oh, what a perfectly timed tweet by the president about China, and if it didn't happen, you would have been crushed. Things always happen wherever they happen. As sophisticated as that sounds. But anyway, from up here into bigger resistance, it made some sense. So plus you had some weakness in the IWM. So for today, there was some things to do. So if you look at the VTF, I'm sorry that I can't tweet you guys everything, but I wasn't in IWM. People are like, when did you short IWM? I said I shorted it at 9:30. By 9:31, the IWMs went up from up a buck 40 to almost flat. And then covered, and then shorted a bounce, covered, shorted a bounce, covered, all the way to it being lower. And if you remember, I shorted the 144s and the 146s yesterday. So to be safe, when we went back to 142.5, because we were up at 144 and change, I'm like, you know what? Let me just take off the 144s, and then later when the IW1's down 3, I'm like, let's just take off the 146s for like 20 cents and be done with that. So we were able to catch a short, and also kind of position for a short into the strength, and there was a lot of strength there. And if you look here, the IW1 was extended. Look how far away it was from the 8-day then. Into this bigger resistance. So if you plan out and you're a little wrong and you're like maybe a half a day away, there are ways to stay with the trade without being perfect. One of my problems was, I have a bunch of problems, but I'll just talk about one of them. Was take a beverage. Who has a beverage? Let's talk to the VTF for a second. I know Barry probably has a beverage. Let's get over here. Anybody have a beverage in the VTF? Come on, say hi. TH. Barry, you don't have a beverage? All right, Phil has a bourbon. Steve doesn't. Oh, Ed has an IPA. I love IPAs. Oh, Aaron has an IPA too. IPAs are my favorite. Coca-Cola, that works, Justin. Coffee counts. You can have coffee. I'm not a pusher. I've never been a pusher my entire life. But I usually, what's what's the word? I always say it to my wife. She's like, I'm the easiest going guy in the country as long as it's my way. Anyway, so grab a beverage. Everyone's hanging out here. It's 4:20, and we'll see how it goes. So anyway, oh, I just moved over the wrong thing. Let's move this down here. Let's knock down this wall, knock down that wall. But anyway, into this area away from the 8-day. We didn't short the IWM calls here. I didn't short them here. Shorted them on this day. Figuring I could short more. Because I had too much, I didn't short that much more. But anyway, took the trade off. It worked out. It wasn't fantastic. I guess, yeah, it could have been. I could have collected all the premium, but sometimes I'm a little risk averse. Same way yesterday, if you remember, after the reversal in tech, I'm shorting some Amazon 2350 puts for 450, and I don't do a lot. I do like 5, I do 7, I do 10. Create 2 to 4 grand worth of premium, and then today I was able to buy those at $1, which I tweeted to you guys, and buy back Netflix at like 30 cents. But anyway, these are all option situations. I know that a lot of you guys don't have the size account that is good for options, but I've been doing that, and I've also been doing this, trading the names. Like I did come in long Netflix overnight, from the reversal, and I did buy more. Look, at 8 o'clock in the morning, I was buying more. You guys remember remember it feels like yesterday? It was this morning. I was doing the morning call, and I'm like, oh, I had a bid in it, at 4:15 or wherever the hell it was, and you guys saw it flash, and they're like, oh, that's what the VTF is. They get to see you when you do things. So anyway, I bought more. But in the note, I said, listen, we could buy weakness. I showed you, as I'm like, if it's going to be easy, you could go here and go green. Literally within 5 minutes, Netflix went green. At least it gave everybody a way out. Like if you look at Netflix, obviously it rolled over a little later in the day. Didn't get to 427, but there was a really nice trade off the open. Off the open. Where's the open? Where is the open? It was fast. I love fast trades off the open. Looking for red to greens. Let's move it over. So here was your open. Happened fast. Happened within the first, few minutes of the day. Put a low in at 415 and then boom, went right to 421. So if you were in it overnight and upset that you took it for follow through, boom, it went green, you could get out of it. If you bought it pre-market saying I'm going to anticipate that, tech that reversed yesterday is going to have some follow through, you could have been, buying it pre-market, or if you saw me buy it pre-market, but hey, Red Dog's buying it pre-market, I'm going to do what he does, which a lot of people do also, which doesn't mean it's always right, but it was right then. So because I bought more and sold it, I didn't really care about this, and then all of a sudden the real trade was later in the day when it got stronger, broke this descending trend line and then went all the way to 422. And I did buy some here also, but I'm not going to go into that. And I can't always, show you guys everything that I'm doing. The Redler All Access note, the video, and the charts are all to give you my theme and my thought of the day and what I'm probably going to be doing if my thought is right. So you have to realize why I'm giving you guys that thought and then execute on your own. Anyway, because you can look at Amazon too. It's the same thing. Amazon had a big travel range from yesterday. From yesterday all the way up. So this morning, what did I say? I said 2380. It was in the morning call, right? Yay, 2380. Anyway, first move up. Then this move, actually, this double bottom created a move to go green. So buying a dip in Amazon made some sense. I didn't really want to take Amazon home because I figured after an 80-point move, maybe it might be down 20. And it was down 20. But I stayed with the puts that I sold to be synthetically long. But what I should have done is I should have bought Amazon. But yesterday was such a stressful day buying Amazon. I was like, I don't want to deal with Amazon today. So anyway, look at that move. Double bottom. Here was actually even the more strategic move. You had a higher low. And then, it made a nice move here. So anyway, some things are strategic, some things aren't. Something just, I guess, printed for me. Anyway, whatever, we'll see. So anyway, that's why I went over some, midday. Oh, so this was the line that I drew this morning. Said if it's any good, it should hold above here. Hey, it did. Let's see if I have that line in Netflix. I feel like Thornton Mellon. Here, this is my line, and there it was right here. It should stay above 412 to 413. By the way, any of you guys watch Back to School? Thornton Mellon? That's a classic. Then with the triple ND. So anyway, that's that. I also had Apple overnight. I showed you guys what I thought, should hold if it was going to be any good. Where is it? Oh, look at that. This was the line that I drew right around here. Held it a bunch of times and then, so there was definitely a trade there. I didn't really look at it so close. Actually, wait a second. Didn't even get there. There's 315. Actually, where was the line? It was somewhere. Anyway, this too. After a strong reversal yesterday, I added pre-market. You can probably see it here. Let's see. Where did Red Dog add? Red Dog had it overnight. Where's Apple? Had it overnight. I bought it 902, and then I was already selling some as it went green all the way up, only up $1. Did I feel like an idiot because I sold Apple up $1 and then up 3? I a little bit of an idiot, but it's fine. It happens. Something is lower right now. Let's see. Oh, nothing's lower. Anyway, it's fine. I was like, wait a second. Oh, oops. Anyway. So again, sometimes when I'm looking for a continuation trade like this morning, I look at where the range was from the prior day and where I think things should hold before no man's land. Like Tesla wasn't great today. Tesla, did I lose money? Yeah, I lost money. I broke even on Tesla today. And we put together a lotto spread. So let's look at Tesla. Tesla's been a pain in the friggin' arse. It did go green today. What did Tesla do the first time? Opened up, went lower first. Then gave you a double bottom. I would have thought actually the best trade was right here. When it kind of put a higher low in. And I think the SPYs pulled in, it didn't pull in, and then you had your move back up to prior resistance, and that was the calculated trade. So with that said, you look at the 1 year. It's very choppy, choppy. So this was the chart I put out there for everybody, and unless it's the perfect setup, I don't want to have to sit with it. Like today, even I didn't mind getting stopped out when it broke below 811 because I'm like, I have a call spread for next week just in case it's going to be special. What's special to me? Well, I wrote it out all here. I'm not going to, read it again, but basically, I'm a little bit stressed that if Tesla came out with something special, that that it would take this out in a way where I can't buy it. Or if I bought it, I would sell it along the way, not hold it for a real move above here to this area. So that's why I did a what's it called? A lotto spread. A lotto spread means I'm playing for a big move that doesn't always happen. Because think about it, if you play the lotto, you really don't think you're going to win. But you're kind of hoping you might win just in case. So with that being said, I figured, okay, I'm going to do a lotto spread just in case. So I'm going to risk 3. Actually, I bought 10 calls, $4, $4 grand, and if it works, and the space friggin' launch is awesome, and it creates a halo effect for Musk, and he's high-fiving the president, and for some reason it goes up. I have I have a position on, even if it doesn't look good. I would not hold a long position that's not risk is premium paid in here because if for some reason, God forbid, it goes up and it blows up in the air like NASA did in 19-something, 70s or 80s. I remember I was home from school then. Sorry about that. Someone's making me laugh. It can be down $50. So I'm risking $4 grand to make 36, or nothing happens and I just trade it and, figure out how to salvage it next week. But I just felt like having something on to that effect. And I did. So that's why. So we'll see how this goes tomorrow or next week. I'm sure they'll be talking about it all day long on CNBC tomorrow about a historic day where space power, space travel is now private. So that could help Tesla tomorrow. And if it opens lower, maybe we buy it. If it opens up, maybe we just leave it alone. And whatever you bought into this call spread or this lotto spread, I always say you want to consider it gone. Meaning, when you buy a lotto spread, you're risking a little to make a lot. A real spread would be like, you buy the 800s and you sell the 840s and you're hoping it gets back to 840 and you make a little bit of money. You don't want to be in the stock, whatever. This is like, okay, there might be a special move here, and if it does happen, I want to be involved in some way. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. What else? By the way, what does that mean? Snappy, snappy, snaps. So yesterday, I showed you guys the VTF. At the end of the day, guys were like, hey, I'm buying Snap. There's a big call sweeper. I'm like, okay. So at the end of the day, I bought Snap. Then this morning, I heard Trump with, doing his executive order for censorship for Facebook, Google, and Twitter. I'm like, they didn't include Snap, so maybe all the action goes there. So I first put it in Redler All Access saying, hey, what did I say? Snap, I bought the dip yesterday, and I'll see if I could buy more to go green because it wasn't included in the president's order. It needs to hold 1650. Here's 1650, and look at this wide range bar. That's pretty friggin' fantastic. The VTF, I traded around it. Snap, I came in long overnight. I was buying it at 830, 922, and then I trimmed some as it friggin' took off, and then I, bought a little bit more towards the end of the day. It's a great trade. For those of you on the VTF, I haven't been in Snap, I don't know, months. That's the beauty of trading, is that you can love them and leave them. Can't do that as an adult, especially if you're married. Maybe some people do it in college. No, I'm kidding. No, I never did that in college. I never promoted clubs or danced to bar mitzvahs or but I showed you guys that video. Anyway, with names and stocks, you can love them and leave them. Meaning, it could be on your list and then setup is done, and then all of a sudden 3 months later you're like, this makes sense again, and you can make money there. So anyway, this was nice. It's nice. It's my Borat impersonation. Let's put that back here, and now it looks like it can break above this range. So one trade was buying at the lower end of the range. The next trade might be if it breaks out above this and goes back towards highs. I don't think I've traded it since this day. That's a nice thought, right? Anyway, if Rob Garcia is watching this, he loves when I do that little laugh. So that's that. Well, guys, remember Peloton? Remember the buy zone? The buy dip area? Well, nice little buy the dip area. I don't usually do that, but I've been finding ways to buy a dip into an area if you sell it well. We sold, Peloton up here. I actually even bought it on this day and got stopped out. No, where did I get stopped out? I got stopped out on this day, I think, and then bought a little bit here to engage it, added a lot more here, and then sold some strength, and I still have some. Not expecting a big move, but if you sold it into this or area, you could buy it back into prior pivots and do it. Yeah. FMCI is a new trade. One of my sales trader friends really like it. It's another SPAC. I don't know where all these SPACs are coming from, but somebody's, there's a big rumor out there that they're buying some kind of, what are they buying? They're buying an alternative to Beyond Meat. So maybe it gets some excitement. We did very well with this one. It's supposed to be like what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the next Tesla. Anyway, we were buying it in here, and then I think it went to 35 and sold some, got short up here. No, I sold some in here. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have 14 to above 20. And then here we put a way to buy it between 20. Remember that? I'm like, everyone's like, hey, where are you buying it back? I'm like, I have bids in from 23 to 21. At 22, everyone's like, where's your stop? I'm like, I said it's a zone. I'm buying it from 23 to 21. Then all of a sudden it goes to, 2075. Like, where's your stop? I said, no, it's a zone. Anyway, went down into 20s, bought some in there, and I actually sold the rest of it today. And we'll see maybe if there's a way to buy it back. I think the deal's happening in June. So anyway, hold on a second here. That's with this person. Anyway, what was I going to say? We'll see what happens here. Maybe you can buy it at the 8th day. Maybe we get a red dot reversal tomorrow around 27.50. We'll see. But anyway, this was a great move by the dip, and now, it still needs some time, I would think. I guess you could put this lower. This would be support where you would think it's buyable if it gets there. It might not get there. It might. Somebody was telling me they were buying Boeing today. I'm like, why are you buying Boeing today? I'm like, we said 160's resistance. We were buying it here. Who the hell's buying Boeing there? Whatever. Where did it close at 149? Oh, that was sold on the VTF. I didn't want to beat her up. But I was just like, what do you mean buying calls in Boeing now? On this day we sold the 122 puts to 124 puts, collected all the premium, and then I think we sold it on, on this day. I didn't revisit it all week. I sold like 143s or 142. I don't remember exactly. And yes, it went higher, but you're buying it on this day after this move? You have to really develop your process better. You don't want to chase things. 99% of the time, you chase something extended from the 8th day, you're going to get hurt. And I don't want to see you get hurt. Red Dog wants to see you make money. Let's see if they hear me on the VTF. Who's I making fun of? Anyway. So, with that being said, it is 4:36. It is May 28th. Let's do a little toast. To all my friends in the Ukraine, remember when I went out there to coach you guys, we said, trading unites continents. What does that mean? It means that you can have like-minded friends around the world doing the exact same thing in all walks of life everywhere, and you could all be together on a Redler All Access or a virtual trading floor and be together and have strength in numbers. I work my friggin' cajones off for you guys. I also do it for me by waking up at 4:45 and writing the note and then doing the video and then posting the charts. 3 different ways I'm looking at the name that I'm looking to approach for the day that reinforces my levels so I can execute fast when things move. I do this and it goes and you guys get to use it for whatever you want to use it for. So you get to use it, if I have 30 different if-thens, then thises, you could take 4 or 5. If all of a sudden you had 4 or 5 on your list and it matches up to my list, it gives you conviction to go with it, then you could do it that way too. There's lots of different ways to use the prep work I do for Redler All Access for your system and your process. Sometimes I throw a fish in the boat, which is great. Sometimes you gotta, figure out how I'm fishing and just come bring your boat next to me and do it the same way, and we figure out if they're biting or not. And if not, we might have to move the boat somewhere else. That's a pretty good analogy. Anyway, we're gonna keep navigating this process, and this process, isn't easy. But if you're, firm and disciplined, and you do it every day, and you like to do it, it can be done. And we'll see where it goes. As far as the virus, I'm not going to get into the political aspect of the reopen and the normalization and the PE of the S&P and what should be happening or what should not be happening. And we're just going to continue to try and do what we're doing and trade the action. Sit here with the TV off, do our chart work, look at what's happening overseas, see how the market's reacting to the news, manage our positions, know when things are working, know when things are changing, and react and adjust. React and adjust. I like that. And today is Friday. I hope everyone's having a decent week. It was definitely a very tricky week with all these big gap ups and the rebalance and the divergence. So if that's the case, just do a little less. Always. You could always do a little less. Cash is a position. You don't have to be in everything. You need to be in things that make you comfortable, things that also kind of adhere to your strengths, and then work on a few things that you're not great at. I know for me, I'm not great at shorting. I'm just not, But I've learned ways to get synthetically short, and I've learned ways to be short. I shorted the IWM the last 2 days in a row. Haven't shorted them shorted it in weeks. I've been selling SPY calls synthetically every time we make new highs, bunch of strikes higher on a Wednesday, which is much more comfortable than being short. Anyway, did I catch it in a video short or the what's it called? The Twilo, like my raspy friend Todd that sometimes you guys hear? No, but it's fine. Did we catch that Facebook short when it was extended? Yes. So anyway, there's lots of ways to make money, and we're going to continue to find ways that are calculated, that are somewhat risk averse, and then we're going to do some things that maybe we feel uncomfortable with at inflection points that we don't need to be perfect with, and give things a little time. But we're also not going to be stubborn, and we're going to be adaptable and flexible. So we can be firm and fixed in our process and routine, but adaptable. I sound like I'm saying that right. I'm flexible based on the market action. With all that said, I thank you for tuning in and listening to my jibber jabber, and I'm going to do my best to guide us through the ups and downs of the market in a way that I think is systematic and strategic and risk calculated. And for those of you who who are medium term or long term, and you're been putting your money into 401k and you never stopped. I think I was a pretty strong advocate of that. I know when the market was down 25, 27% off the highs, I told you I increased my son's 529 to by 50% and put extra money in. And if that's the case and your son's 11 like mine, hopefully you did the same. I also gave you a way to model a cash account, which made probably net 10%, could have made more, but I don't care. So I'm trying to help you guys out with all different things that I've learned throughout the years. Some guys are on here that trade for a living. Some guys that are on here that trade a few times a week. And sometimes just think some guys are on here just because they think I'm handsome, even with my forehead. No, I'm kidding. So I try and touch on a little bit of everything. Some guys want inflection points where they don't have to, where they could buy something and hold it for a few weeks. Some guys think, oh, here's Andrew Joyce. You want to say hello to Andrew Joyce? Hold on. What up, Andrew? Coach Joyce?
Dog, you got a minute?
Yeah, but just say hello to Redler Relaxis. I'm finishing up the recap. This is Chase's lacrosse coach and athletic coach and a little bit of my life coach. Say what up, Andrew Joyce.
You guys are the man. You're the man.
Me?
Redler Relaxis is the man. Well, call me out back when you get done. I love you, bro.
I love you too. By the way, Chase's camp is canceled, so he's going to need a lot of stuff this summer.
I was wondering if he wanted to play travel lacrosse because of that.
Is travel lacrosse going to work? Is it going to be on?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, maybe. Yeah. I'll call you on the way home. That's awesome.
All right, peace.
Peace. There you go, Coach Joyce, calling it up. That'd be great. So, with that said, I let you guys in on all aspects of my life. It's really Redler All Access. I have nothing to hide. Nothing to hide. I'm just a real guy that works his butt off, that has a family that I like to spend time with. I have my fitness, I do my triathlons, I do my charity work. And yes, tomorrow we're unveiling the push-up challenge. I told you guys, I gave you guys a week ago, I told you to start practicing your push-ups with your son, daughter, whoever it is you think, could combine with you to get over 50 in 60 seconds. And we're putting up $5,000. I'm giving you another inside skinny. So $5,000 we're putting up. I'm the friggin' spearhead of it. The only way we put up the $5,000 is if we get enough teams that actually on Father's Day post a video of themselves doing push-ups. So every team that comes in will donate $100. You'll see the 3 charities, and it's up to like how many teams does it take to put $100? So we need 50 teams. Okay, and then all of a sudden 50 teams, that's $5,000. So, and it doesn't cost any money to participate, just a little fitness, a little fun with your family, and post a video on Father's Day. I'm going to be doing a video with Chase because he's my partner. It's hard to compete with Chase, but we'll let it go, and then we have 3 weeks to train until Father's Day, and then we get a 50 or 100 teams, and T3 is going to donate $5,000 to 3 different charities, and all you have to do is put in some time and sign up. It's not a ploy. Okay, this is real. And I was pushing for this, and finally, the brass said fine. So with that said, I'm actually going to call out Josh Brown and his son. I'm going to call out Terra Nova and his son. And I need you guys to all help me on Twitter to harass them to make sure that they do the push-up contest. Those guys, I think Josh's son is a baseball player, Terra Nova is a hockey player, and they're all the same age as Chase. So we're going to friggin', maybe even do some side bets on it. Josh Brown said, when you think of me, think of fitness. Okay, well, bring it on. Anyway, with that being said, he's a good friend of mine. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Get some rest. Bye-bye. You guys want a song to end it on? What song do you guys want? Let's put on, want to put on My Way by Frank Sinatra? I love My Way. Okay. Hey, Alexa, play My Way by Frank Sinatra. Alexa, play My Way by Frank Sinatra. I'm gonna tell you a little story during this if you still haven't tuned me out yet. Alexa, louder. Alexa, go to level 7. All right, so my best friend Steven passed away of leukemia when he was 30. I met him when I was 17. We, the dancing, the bar mitzvahs, and the videos that I showed you, he was one of my partners on that. We ran Hampton houses together. We bartended together. We lived in the city from age 21 to about 28, 29. He was a pretty big party guy. I was never a party guy. We were like doing the promotions. I would drank, but I wasn't the late night party guy. Everyone knows what that means. Um, we kind of like separated a little bit the last few years because I had a steady girlfriend and he didn't still. This was his favorite song. So when I was like 27, 28, I think I was like, pretty big. I was like 200 pounds. I was benching. I think I could do 225 to 10, three plates for 5, and then I was getting a little bulky. So I was like, I'm 20 something years old. I got to stop doing, the weightlifting. I want to be fit. So I started to do triathlons. I did this sprint triathlon. I'll send you guys a picture where I was a monster coming out of the water, and I did it really well. And at that point, I was 28, 29. It was after the R. Kelly tour. I wasn't very, I was doing okay, but I didn't have a lot of money. So I wrote this letter to Bally's Fitness. I was a member of. I won the 30-day challenge. I was like, would you guys sponsor me? Buy me a bike. I'll represent Bally's. I think it could be a really good triathlete. So Steven, I was living on his couch before all this, and he took the letter and got for my 30th birthday all my friends together, and they bought me a racing bike for my birthday before I was 30. And then that summer he had leukemia and he died. So anyway, I started wow. I started racing in his honor, doing triathlons. I can't finish the story.